Champions Modified Series. This is race number 8 at Concord. I'm joined here by Sam Dyer. My name is Matthew Rodriguez, and we've got looks like an 80 lap race in store here tonight.
80 laps here at this looks like a tricky triangle. Concord is. It's one of the more difficult tracks that we're going to see here at this season. And up front, it's a car that we missed last week. It's Riley O'Keefe.
You know, speaking about the triangle, it actually almost looks like a baby Pocono.
In a way, it really does. But this track is super different from Pocono. There's a lot more banking here. And I think the trickiest part of this track has to be turn number 3. During practice, a lot of cars were struggling to get off that corner. They're getting very loose, and they're just struggling to hold on to the car going down the straightaway.
And it's also worth noting that our points leader, the 88 of Tommy Kremborg, comes in here with about a plus 20 point lead. I think about 25, 27 points over Ryan Gavel. He managed to claw his way back up to second with O'Keefe being absent. I mean, do you think Gavel can really cut down that distance?
I mean, if Kremborg has an awful race, finishes last, that's the only chance that really Gavel has at this. He's got to win the rest of these races and hope that the 88 car has a bad race.
Absolutely. So we got our starting lineup here. Riley O'Keefe is on the inside with a blistering 15.436. Nick Rayborg is on the outside with a 15.6 or 4.62. Going down the rest of our lineup here, I've got Ryan Gavel in third, Kremborg in fourth. That's definitely the points battle we need to watch here going into both our 9th and 10th rounds here of the season. See, as I go through the pace laps here, definitely a tricky triangle, like Sam said. I don't really know where the preferred track or line is on this track. I think you can probably get a run up high, but the quickest way around is obviously going to be the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, this track is pretty narrow like we've been seeing the last couple of weeks. But here's the thing. I don't think outside really is where you're going to be making the move. You're just waiting for the other car in front of you to make a mistake as pace car pulls off.
Pace car is off, and you already see that O'Keefe is getting ready to play some tricks here on the 2. Getting to the restart box, green flags in the air. O'Keefe gets a great restart, trying to make up for that last week's absence. And you see Ryan Gavel's already trying to make his charge up to second. Caution's out already.
Already around. It's going to be the 9 car of Patrick Hoser.
Looks like he's coming off the access road now. Let's go ahead and take a look back at that incident.
This is the one thing that we're going to be seeing a lot of this race is going into turn number 1 with everyone so close. This track, your car wants to go around in turn 1 and 3. And so we're going to be probably seeing a lot of accidents here. Hopefully we can see some green flag runs, but this track is so difficult here.
You know, watching that replay, I'm almost willing to say, but the 74 of Rick Thompson actually got into the back of him.
Yeah, I mean,
take a look here.
They're so close to one another.
As we look from the onboard of the 74, Steves gives the 9-1 tap, kind of comes back around, hits him in the rear. That's kind of surprising. So yes, definitely the 74 of Rick Thompson Jr. did help him around just a little bit.
Rick Thompson Jr., who had a great run last week. I believe he finished in 3rd place. He had a very up and down race last week, but he's now in the middle of the pack. We'll see if he's able to move up front later on in the race. And hopefully that 9 car didn't get too much damage and is able to continue running. And maybe he's able to get up there and finish in the top 10.
And I do have to apologize. It looks like we're having just some slight difficulties for a replay screen. It's not popping up the video, so my unfortunate apologies about that. We'll work to get that fixed. As we currently pace under caution here, I mean, at least I note that Ryan Gavel actually fell back to 4th. I thought he was making a charge for 2nd.
Gavel looked like he was going to be moving up, but I mean, he's in the same position that he was in. All the top 4 didn't really change any positions, so we're all staying the same way they were when we started the race.
Absolutely, they still ride around here. I mean, who has to be your favorite here tonight? I mean, of course, O'Keefe off that restart has an amazing advantage here, but I mean, obviously you've got Gavel and Kremborg who really have totaled for wins over in the half of this season.
Yeah, I mean, O'Keefe's been looking strong when he's been racing. It's a shame that he missed last week because he was in second place in points. I think O'Keefe this race is someone to watch out for. He's had the fastest lap during practice and in qualifying. He's just been the fastest car all race long. He's going to be taking the outside this time around. And he's been fantastic all season long on these restarts. He's always been tricking people, starting right when the pace car goes down to just holding people off. As the pace car pulls down off as we're about to go green.
It's surprising to see O'Keefe take that high line there, but looks like he's taking that advantage. He gets an amazing restart. Looks like the 14 of Reinberg is going to be battling the 88 of Kremborg now. Kremborg's taking the high line. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it work. Going to try to start working on that low line again.
And all these cars are battling it up. We got to go back up. We got to go back to 7th where we got cars side by side, and they're now straightening it up. Now, during practice, I was seeing a lot of cars be able to run about 3 laps, and then their cars start to get wicked loose off turn number 3. Looks like everyone's keeping it steady now, but we got to watch out to see what's going to go on later on in the race.
As it looks like there's a battle here for 3rd, with Gavel trying to make a move on Kremborg here. Just Gavel's been looking so loose coming out of these corners. I mean, I don't know if it's just him, but he prefers a loose race car, but he just never has looked solid in these modifieds.
Yeah, I mean, even last week he was loose coming off the corners. His car has never really looked completely solid at a race. I mean, he's always sideways, it seems like.
And you got to give him props. He can drive a sideways race car, but I mean, you don't want to be catching these things every lap.
Yeah, I mean, we're racing on pavement. We're not on dirt. You don't want to be sideways here. But I mean, he's still keeping up speed. He's still right on of Kremborg's back bumper. We're going to see if he's going to use his front bumper to move him out of the way, or if they're just going to stay like this for a little bit longer as we're.
Well, it looks like he's debated it a little bit. Man, he just snaps so hard off of those corners.
Looks like he was still close to hitting that wall.
Yeah, he was right into the back bumper of the 88, and he just kind of. It almost looks like he's just getting a little bit too loose. Don't know if he's clipping the apron coming out of the corner. See, it looks like he's trying that again. He just kind of clips the apron a little bit and gets the car unsettled.
We got these two battling for 3rd, and then if you go up front, it looks like Nick of the 14 car is starting to get closer to O'Keefe.
Looks like he's tracked O'Keefe down, and that's not exactly what he wants here. Obviously, here's the thing, with a bad day from Gavel, bad day from Kremborg, O'Keefe can be right back in it.
Another thing to notice is in about, probably if we stay green, another 5 to 10 laps, our leaders could be catching the back of the pack. That's something to keep in mind here as we're seeing the battle for the lead.
That's correct. Currently, it looks like as they run up on lap traffic here, they'll be running into the 9 of Patrick Hosier and the 90 of Ken Zeems.
And we were wondering if you're able to really make, there were 2 lines here, as the 14 car was trying to make a move on the outside, but not able to make it happen there for the lead. And he falls back in line. These guys are right on top of each other, and I think this is something that we got to keep in mind. Is Gavel was the faster car in practice back in 4th place, and he might be being held up right now by the 88 car.
I mean, that's almost been the story of the season, where Gavel just had a bad fast car and he just can't get around people because these modifieds are. I almost want to kind of relate them to quarter midgets or F1 cars. Shockingly, how they're just so solid to the ground, and they don't have that much loose up and grip unless you really wheel them.
Yeah, I think what you were saying earlier in the season, that these things are kind of like your redneck F1 cars. But I mean, it's true. I mean, these cars are they're so wild to look at. They're not your regular stock cars or anything like that. But they're fun to watch. As we're 21 laps into this race, are already a quarter way through.
Gets a little bit loose.
There's that turn number 3. I was talking about it earlier in the race. It's so dangerous. And he got loose into the inside wall, and that could ruin his race.
And that just handed Nick Rayberg, my apologies, of the 14 the race lead. Now it opens up the door for both Kremborg and Gavel to try and chase down the 14.
Well, here's the thing, is that both these cars we had the battle for third and the battle for first. And the battle for first, those guys were pulling away from the 88 and the 77. So we'll see if these guys, if they can close into the 14 car. And I don't think they can.
I almost want to liken this track to Bristol, as we ran Bristol last night in the Sim Racers Mental Health Cup Series. And Bristol's such a one-lane race. Oh, see Gavel get loose there. But Bristol is such a one-lane racetrack, and it's almost like a Concord here, where it's primarily one lane. You can run that other lane, but it's either going to be extremely snappy, or it's going to be too slow where it's not going to be viable to run it.
Talking about how the leader possibly could be pulling away as the 14 car is pulling away, and he's catching up to lap traffic as he's coming up to the 9 car.
Yeah, that's another problem that, at least on these short tracks that you obviously have, where you have lap cars or slower cars that want that preferred line. And again, it's really up to the passing car to find the way around. So you're not always entitled to your preferred line, and that's what allows second and third place to catch up to you.
Luckily, the 9 car did get out of the way to allow the 14 car to just move on by. I think Ryan Gavel might have the fastest car, but he just cannot get past this 88 machine. He's just struggling to get by.
Looking at his lap times, he has almost the consistently fastest lap times on the circuit. Looking at his best lap, he's only second fastest to Riley O'Keefe, which obviously is back and forth here. Riley O'Keefe, his best lap of 15.464, and Gavel with his best lap of 15.540.
For this race, we did have 13 racers. One of them is a lap down. That's the 9 car. The next car that possibly could be getting lapped down is going to be Ken Zimmer in the 90 machine, as the 14 car is closing in.
Yes, I mean, that's a big experience gap between Ken Zeems and Nick in the 14, where, I mean, there's some guys who are just learning this track. I mean, you heard various interviews this season where a lot of these guys they're learning the modified for the first time. They've never picked up the modified before, and hey, this is their first experience in them. Or other guys, hey, they ran modified hundreds of times, and this is just something new to them.
Seems like we got little mini battles all over the place, as we got the battle for second now going on with the 88 and the 77, and then if we move back.
Oh, Gavel moves him. Gavel got back to the Kremborg and moved him out of the way. Opens up the door for Riley O'Keefe as well. He's going to give up 2 positions.
These 3 cars were known as the Big 3 earlier on in the season because they were so dominant, and now they're right on top of each other as the 88 car gets pushed out of the way. I mean, that was something that we were wondering was going to happen. Was he ever going to use his front bumper? And it finally was used there to get out of the way. Now, can Gavel catch up to the 14 car in the lead?
Believe it or not, I mean, we've already ran 45 laps here. I mean, we're almost at halfway at this point.
I believe it was 36 you meant to say, but it's all right.
Oh, my apologies. We're almost at halfway here. We've got 44 laps to go.
But it looks like Gavel's going to be letting O'Keefe by, but that could be giving the opportunity to the 88 car to get past them. But Kremborg gets a little sideways off turn number 3, which does not allow him to get by Gavel. Now, with these 3 battling it up, it's allowing the 14 car still to pull away as he laps down the 90 machine.
Seaver and our ticker, I mean, it's almost a 4-second lead to the first place position between O'Keefe and Gavel. I mean, this is everything that Nick wants to see right now, but those 3 they kind of need to stop fighting between each other and just go.
But here is a problem for Nick. He's got a huge lead right now, but the next group of cars that he's going to be coming up with is 5 cars that are right on top of one another. And that's a lot of lap traffic that you're going to battle through that can allow the second, third, and fourth machines to catch up to him.
Absolutely. Looks like right now he's running up on the whole pack of cars.
I mean, this pack that we're looking at is from 7th to 11th. And you got battles going on here for 7th place. You got Rick Thompson and Caleb Fig going on.
And that's the most dangerous part for the leader. I mean, seeing these guys, hey, they don't have any pretty much qualms in the leader battle, but I mean, they're just trying to improve their positions because, again, every point matters. And hey, you may not be in contention for the championship, but you don't want to finish outside the top 10. You don't want to finish outside the top 5. You at least want to be in the conversation of, hey, he was inside the top 5 in points. He had a shot.
Yeah, this group of cars is going to get really interesting, and this is when, I mean, it's over 4 seconds. It could be getting close to 5 seconds soon.
Yeah, it's definitely worth noting if this is going to really slow him down. I mean, they're spread out all over the racetrack. They're taking really the preferred line.
As we are at 46 laps, these laps are getting taken down so quick. But this is the action that we've been waiting for. Is the 14 car going to be able to get through this lap traffic cleanly? Or is it going to be a lot of work, which allows the cars that are in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th to finally catch up?
And it looks like we might be kind of close here with the race time limit. Because currently the race time limit here is about 8 minutes and 40 seconds till the session ends. And we currently have 33 laps. Now, my math is a little bit shoddy, but that puts us about, assuming about 15.5s a lap, that puts us about even with how it's going to end. So if there are any cautions, that it's definitely going to end earlier.
I don't believe so. I don't know where you're finding those numbers, but those do not believe that is right.
Like I told you, my math skills are a little bit shoddy.
Because we're only about 18 minutes into this race on time-wise. It says that we have an hour and 15. So we still have plenty of time in this race. There isn't going to be a time restraint, even if we go caution all the way through from here on out. But here we are, the leader, right in the middle of this pack of lap cars. They're in the way.
Yeah, caution's out. Not sure who 90 of the Kenny Zeems, and Ryan Gavel was involved. Go ahead and take a look, because Ryan Gavel was in.
And more cars are getting involved.
Taking a look back at this incident. Oh, Tommy Kremborg. He hit the 77 out of the way. He moved him. Gavel pulled down the racetrack, and the 90 of Zeem just ran into him. Then while Zeems are in the middle of the racetrack, that looks like the 23-9. Multiple cars hit him. Definitely a game-changing event.
As we're just now getting past 50 laps, this is changing up everything. As O'Keefe, Gavel are both going into the pits, so is the 33 for that damage and flipping over. But
that's definitely retaliation. I'm kind of surprised.
A lot of these cars are coming into the pits now.
Looks like Gavel's going to beat off the race on pit road.
I believe those cars are already going to be starting the back of the pack, as our leaders are now coming into the pits.
Yeah, it's currently scoring Gavel in first place here, actually.
And we're going to have to wait and see once everyone is pitted to see where everyone lands. But the 14 car comes into the pits and has a very slow stop, loses multiple positions.
Looks like majority of his time actually came on pit lane. Whereas some other drivers like Ryan Gavel, he was able to get through pit lane in about 32 seconds. It took Nick about 46 seconds to drive down pit lane. Gavel's stop took about 12 seconds. Nick's stop took about 26.1 seconds. So I'm not sure if he was repairing some damage or changing a tire.
I don't know what happened with Nick. He lost so much time that now he is not in the lead anymore.
I mean, if you look how that ends out, Ryan Gavel actually, if he manages to stay in first here, and it looks like he is going to stay in first, he lucked out with being the spinner and the winner.
Cars that did not have a nice time is going to be Riley O'Keefe, the 9 car, and the 33 that are still in pit road, as well with the 74. No one has left the race. Everyone is still in pit road trying to get their car.
Gavel takes off. Gavel gets an amazing restart. It gets really loose coming in that front stretch. Gavel's still holding the lead. Jody Banfield, this is the first time we've talked about him today. He's in second. Yeah, the 14 of... Yeah, Gavel just getting so...
All these cars so loose off of turn number 3.
Everyone's going single file here at the moment. Banfield just trying to figure out how to catch back up to Gavel. Look at the 14. The 14 is making a run on the 12 here. Man, Nick is just so brave. He's getting way down on that apron. Not sure if that's the right move, but I mean, he's catching him, so.
Well, it looked like Nick was trying to just move Banfield out of the way, but slowed his car up where his car just got sideways slightly. I mean, I'm wondering if Gavel up front, fresh. Oh boy! He's trying to move the front bumpers. Nick tries to get into the 12. The 12 stays clean.
Look at Evan Nugent. We haven't even talked about him today. He sneaks up here to third.
These are a lot of cars we've only seen in the middle of the pack, but they're now up front in the top 3.
Tell you who's loving this is Ryan Gavel. He's just pulling away.
29 laps to go.
I'm going to tell you, Ryan Gavel is telling Jody Banfield, hey, keep blocking, keep doing it. You can do this.
Excuse me, I meant to say 19 laps to go. Now 18. This is it. This is where we're going to see who is going to be making the moves, as the 14 car that was dominating the whole entire front part of this race is now stuck in 4th, as Ryan Gavel, who's been 2nd in points, needing all the points he can get, is up front trying to get this win with the 88 car back in 5th.
Yeah, I'm about to say Gavel is definitely Jody Banfield's biggest cheerleader right now, just trying to get him to keep blocking and hold him off. I mean, Gavel does not look fast, but, I mean, he's been elusive, and that's what he needs.
We've only been seeing people get around with either mistakes or using their front bumper to move the car in front. And right now we're going to have to see with this 14 car, he's got to make a move. He's got to use his bumper, as we're seeing Nuka making his bumper. Oh, boy!
Big wreck. Gavel.
Even bigger. The 88 car's in.
Krenborg is smoking.
Krenborg has engine problems.
Big championship implications here. Definitely, I mean, that's going to be, I don't think he can fix that in time. It's going to be a definite park. And with Riley O'Keefe, he's currently 14 laps down, still on pit road repairing something. So that takes out both 5th place in points and 1st place in points. And guess who's a big gainer out of that? Ryan Gavel. He's still running and he's leading laps.
This is huge for points-wise. This is giving Gavel a chance. He needs to win this race to put him really in contention for this championship. It was looking like this championship was out of Hans' reach, and this is what he needed. This is unfortunate for a lot of cars in that accident. It was hard racing.
Right now, if this race were to end right now, which is not possible, it would be the 88 of Tommy Krenborg finishing 9th. And Gavel taking the win and a good 1st place position points here. I mean, that's definitely a big nail in the coffin. That's not what Krenborg needed. Especially for someone who we talked to, and he stated that, I mean, consistency was key. You don't have to win these races, but you just have to finish them. And that, if currently everyone who's in pit road stays in pit road, we're going to have about 5-6 cars left in this race.
That was one of the most insane accidents. They were on the straightaway, got into one another, flipped, and the biggest loser has to be the 88 car.
Let's go ahead and take a look from Kremborg's onboard here. See Kremborg here, he's pulling off corner. Banfield, Evan Nugent, they had a little bit of a misunderstanding, and it almost looks like the 15 of Kenny Zeems accidentally punted the 88 of Tommy Kremborg into the wall there, and that was the big cause of his problems.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was super close. It got very narrow with everyone sideways and just spun out that not everyone could get woed up in time.
But again, that definitely blows a big hole in championship here. Ryan Gavel definitely has been handed a gift now, just his really opportunity to capitalize on it.
But the car behind him, 14 machine, has been up there, been quick. Can Ryan Gavel keep the lead? Because you know the leader in every restart has gotten a huge jump, keeping the lead. As pace car pulls off, Ryan Gavel, is he going to be able to keep it with 10 laps to go?
Nick did not get going on the bottom line. Gavel gets an amazing restart.
Kenny Zeems in the 15 car got a little sideways on that start, but Ryan Gavel with a huge launch, keeping him in the lead. Can the 14 car catch him or not?
Right now, it looks like the 14 is catching him, but here's the thing, if you're Gavel, there's nowhere playing nice. I mean, here's the thing, that could be your championship on the line, or at least your championship shot on the line. I mean, you cannot let Nick pass you. Coming through here, see Nick just drives so hard in that corner, gets right up to Gavel's bumper.
We're on 7 laps, coming to 6 laps to go. Is the bumper going to be used? We've seen it all race long. As they're both sideways coming off turn number 3.
And definitely, here's the thing, the big thing for those two is Gavel has the most to lose in this situation. I mean, yes, while you need a win to really stay in this championship fight, you cannot afford to be wrecked. You've got to at least finish this race.
Side by side, going across the line. Can Gavel keep the lead as he gets a huge rush off of turn number 1, keeping the lead for himself.
Simply going down here into turn 3, still close side by side.
4 laps to go, side by side into turn number 1. Is Gavel going to get the run off of turn 1 like he did last time? Doesn't look like he's going to get it. 14 car might be getting the lead here coming off of turn number 3 as the 15 machine is putting his bumper in. Oh, Gavel gets tapped by the 15 car. He goes around.
Kenny Zeems. That's surprising. Kenny Zeems managed to take out both championship contenders here.
Ryan Gavel able to turn his car around. He's not going to get the maximum points he was hoping to get.
That's definitely a big hit for him.
But look at the cars that are up front. All 3 cars are cars we haven't seen up front all season long.
Go ahead and we'll take a look back at that instant here. It just looks like Kenny Zeems just drives a little bit too hard in the corner, cuts the apron, and just gets into the back of the 77, spinning him around.
We're waiting to see for confirmation if there's going to be green-white checkered or if this is the end of the race.
I currently think the session is out of time. I don't think this is going to end under caution.
Right now in the lead, it's your 14 machine.
Yep, it's been declared official. Nick Rayborg is your winner here. The session has ran out of time, so it's just going to go ahead and declare it official. So Nick in the 14, he will be declared winner. Ryan Gavel finishes in 5th. And the biggest hit, Tommy Kremborg, he's going to finish in 9th. And Riley O'Keefe, another one in that championship battle in the big 3, he finishes in 11th.
surprises everywhere. You got Kenny Zeems in second and Michael Timmerman in third. These are 3 cars I never could have imagined being up front just based on how the season's been going. What is good to see some new faces up front and a win for the 14 car.
See him just still burning down the house. We'll go ahead and we'll try to get you interviews of all 3, both Nick, Michael Timmerman, and Kenny Zeem. Let's go ahead and we'll bring up the race results here. If we take a look at our race ending results, Nick Rayborg in the 14 is your big winner from today. Kenny Zeems in second here. Michael Timmerman. These top 3 are 3 we really haven't talked about all, or sorry, these 2 of them are really people we haven't talked about all day. I mean, looking at the top 5, both Scott Rickard, Michael Timmerman, Kenny Zeems, those are guys that just really haven't been mentioned. They haven't been quick, but they've been staying out of trouble, and that's how we managed to get up this high. Ken Zeems in the 60 and 6th. Evan Nugent in the 98 comes 7th. Jody Banfield after that incident, he ends his day on pit road or 9th. Tommy Kremborg in 9th, and Caleb Fage in 10th. And looks like we've got Rayborg and Rick Thompson in the lobby here.
We're going to probably bring in our race winner as we wait to see if anyone else is going to be able to come into the waiting room.
Yeah, it currently looks like we only have the race winner here. I mean, if you want, we can go ahead and we can try and pull Ryan Gavel and Kremborg if you want.
That is up to you, sir.
Let's go ahead and we'll pull in Rayborg here, and we'll get his interview first, and then if the other 2 haven't popped in by then, we'll go ahead and we'll pull up both Ryan Gavel and Tommy Kremborg.
I didn't.
Hi, Nick.
Hello.
It's Matthew up in the Flatout Racing Network booth. I mean, really a dominating win. I mean, where did that come from? I have to ask.
My girlfriend sang to me before the start of the race, so that's always a plus. It got me pumped up, excited to win the race. Kind of just drove away from the field.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, it looked like you were just stuck behind O'Keefe until you were able to get around him. Did you feel like there was any chance that Gavel could have beaten you in that end of that race, or do you think that was all you just felt like you had that race in your hand?
No, I knew the first 2 laps that when we went back under green, that if he messed up, I would have got by in him. I had fresher tires and everything.
Absolutely. I mean, just seeing that kind of domination, I mean, were you worried about lap cars or anything? Because, I mean, there is about a good gaggle of about 5 lap cars that you're running up on before that caution happened.
2 of them were my teammates. They said that they would go high as soon as I got to them. There's just other 3 cars I was worrying about, especially the 17. You wouldn't get out of my way. I was kind of being aggravated by that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for talking with us here. Anyone you want to shout out or say thanks to?
My team, the Rich Thompson racing team, Richard and Caleb and all them guys.
Absolutely. Well, just a big congratulations on winning the race. I mean, this really gives you motivation. I mean, come into next week and, hey, go back to back.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with us here, Nick.
Thank you.
All right, that was our first place finisher, Nick Rayborg. Right now, it looks like the 2nd and 3rd place of Kenny Zeems and Michael Timmerman hasn't joined us yet. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull in both Ryan Gavel and Tommy Kremborg here.
They moved it.
Oh,
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Matthew in the Flatout Racing Network booth. I'm just going to pull you both in here at once. a little bit easier. So, I mean, that was a race for you two. Jeez. I mean,
Dude, Michael Timmerman's a hack. That's all I gotta say.
It was definitely a pretty good race. Me and Tommy had a good one for the first, whatever it was, 50 or so laps when it was the two of us.
yeah, I mean, remember I saw Krenborg give you a nice good shot there, Gavel.
Oh yeah, I felt so bad, dude.
They actually ended up helping me out in the end, though. I was leading after it. But I ended up with
it was
3
all part
minutes
of
of
the
repair.
plan, actually. That was on purpose to give you the lead.
Yeah, it was a really good workout of events. But I mean, definitely the biggest points hit for you, Krenborg. I mean, I'm not sure how far it drops you in points, but I think it just tightens up the battle just here a little bit.
From what I know is he's going to be like 14 points behind, which isn't too much for 2 races, but it's a decent cushion as long as I don't get wrecked again.
So all Gavel needs to do is just go on a run and just win both last races, and he'll be good to go.
Yeah. Well, even if he wins the last 2 races and I finish like top 5, I think I still got it.
Yeah, as long as you don't have what happened tonight happen.
So all you got to do is dump me the first lap and you're good.
I mean, I guess so.
Oh, that was a joke. Please don't do it. Dude, I suck at Concord. I hate that track with a passion.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's just never not slick.
It was almost like a mini Pocono.
Yeah,
it's even
it's
like
tough.
better than that. I would love if we ran at Pocono. I'm fast there.
Pocono has straightaways. This place doesn't, where you're just always turning right instead of left. Yeah, you're turning left, then when you get out of the corner, you're right until the next corner, you're back to the left. It's just you're sliding
You're
around.
never on the gas either, dude.
Yeah, it's tough.
Even with like the pretty, like, decently straight corner, even if you flat that out, you're just gonna slide up into the wall anyway.
Yeah, it looked tricky out there, boys. Well, good luck on next week, and we'll see where the points land you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so that was first, fifth, and ninth. Unfortunately, our second and third place finishers were unable to join us here today. I mean, that was a race. I mean, that definitely opens up the points just a little bit closer. I mean, from what Tommy said, I mean, 14 points, that's still a big lead, but that's something they can reasonably come back from.
Yeah, we got 2 more races left in the season, but if we have another instance like we saw today, I mean, there is a chance that Ryan Gavel can still win this championship, even with the way that Krenborg's been dominating this season.
That's definitely so. And we come back for you at race 9 next Thursday. I mean, we're pretty much winding up the season here. Our finale will be on January 23rd. So be sure to watch the last two rounds here. Man, I'm not doing English well tonight. That's been both myself, Sam Dyer from Flatout Racing Network. Wish you guys a good night.